think
Cool.
I think is very relevant right now. So, in our last episode, we spoke about maintaining momentum throughout the festive season and things
Yeah.
that you can do to do that well. What if you didn't do that? What if your holiday was a bit of a write-off and you're coming into the new year with a sense of foreboding and a little bit of anxiety because the holiday is now ending and you have to go back to work? How
Mm.
do you jumpstart yourself in this new year? What's the reboot button look like for you? What would you do?
Yeah. Yeah. So luckily I had a recharging holiday.
Yeah,
Like
same.
in the last podcast we spoke about, you know, be careful to do things that you enjoy but drain you,
hmm
because those need to be moderated. And I focused on doing things that I enjoy but recharge me.
Okay.
But to get back to the point, the question
Yeah.
is what would I need to do should I have not followed that rhythm?
Right.
And I think this is where your mentality comes in and wisdom, because the reality now is that you're climbing a steep mountain and you got to consciously fight this battle and understand that you're in this position because of the choices that you made.
Yeah.
So you got to acknowledge the fact that you had the right of it to begin with and work your way around dealing with the consequences.
Yeah, 100%.
Because the reality is that someone else has momentum. Don't look at them and be like, oh, how did they get there? Focus on yourself, you know, focus on dealing with the consequences, acknowledging it, and then fighting it daily until you get back into that state of momentum that you were previous to the holiday. So,
Mm,
to summarize that answer, I just think it's an honest conversation with yourself.
mm,
Why am I feeling this way? What did I do to feel this way? Sometimes you can't, trace or fault find why you're feeling that way. But the reality is that you need to deal with it. You need to acknowledge how you're feeling. And then you need to climb the mountain.
100%.
There's no other way around it. And what's your take on it? Yeah, what would you do if you were in a position where, you didn't have a recharging holiday, but one that rather drained your energy because
Yeah.
of overindulging?
Yeah. Look, I mean, what you said there about honesty is spot on. You know, I, I, I honestly, it's ironic to say I honestly believe. I believe that honesty, especially self-honesty, is the fundamental platform upon which all good things can be built, being
Yeah,
honest with yourself.
yeah,
But what I would say is it's just understanding the laws of momentum and recognizing that you cannot just go back to the high level frequency that you were at before
mm,
you shut everything down. It's like
mm,
imagine a big mining operation. When I
mm,
was in my articles, I was on mines. And during the festive season, the mines don't close. Why? Because the nature of the operation is so big that you cannot simply shut it down for 2 weeks and then just turn it back on again.
mm.
Those operations are continuously running, and
Yeah,
the intensity at which they run varies, but they never stop
yeah,
until the show is over. And I
yeah.
think our lives are kind of the same. It's naive to assume that you can just shut down all operations and then at the press of a button go and operate again at full speed. So
Mm,
when I talk about the law of momentum, what I'm saying is you need to start small. If you're coming back from the holiday,
yeah,
the worst thing you can do is not get started. It's to reach the end of Jan and still be in the same place that you are right now. So what I would do is I would say, look at the end of Jan, ask yourself, when I reach this date and I'm in a great place, what does that look like? And what did I do? Reverse engineer it. And then try and start as small as possible to get back into that thing. So a good example of this is a lot of people don't gym during the holidays, and now they face the challenge of getting back into a regular exercise routine. Are you going
yeah.
to go and do the hardest workout the first time you go? No, don't do that because then you're not going to go. Or if you do go, you're going to hate it so much that you don't go back. So focus on building the habit again of exercising, where you literally just say, okay, today my exercise is I walk for fucking 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Anyone can do that. And then give yourself credit for that and be like, yes,
Mm,
I made a good choice
mm,
today.
Mm.
And then you say, next
Mm.
one, I'm going to go a little bit further and a little bit further and use the law of
Mm.
progressive overload.
Mm.
And like you said, just be honest with yourself and give yourself some compassion. Don't beat yourself up and be like, oh, you useless Blix from this and that, blah, blah, blah. Accept it. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the truth is, you are still that same person that you were at the end of last year when you were hitting three-pointers everywhere, being a superstar. You're still that
Yeah.
same person. And the best part is, you are wiser than that person was because
Yeah.
you've been through more. So,
Yeah.
yeah, but have belief that you can get back to where you were. Take your time and build that momentum up again. And
Mm.
use this as a learning experience so that the next festive season that you go into, you can say to yourself, you know what? I know what happened last year. I completely screwed the pooch. I dropped the ball, and I don't want to do that again. So I'm
Yeah.
not going to do that because this was
Yeah.
literally, this was me. 2022 December, I was like, you know what? I've worked hard. I'm in Cape Town. I'm just going to take off and do whatever I want.
Yeah.
I mistreated my body. Jan, I got sick as hell and then really did not start the year off on a great note. This time around, I really like stayed on the track with everything that I was doing, and it was the best December I've ever had in my life for that. And now I go into January and I'm excited because I'm like, awesome. I'm picking up
So the same.
right where I was, if not a little bit better than last year. So this year is going to be epic. And that's wisdom. That's the nature of like evolving as a person, accepting, okay,
Yeah.
that other festive season, I was unconsciously incompetent. I didn't know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this festive season, I was consciously competent. So
Yeah.
that's the nature of evolution,
And just to top that off, before moving on to the next topic, I think the underlying fact there is the reality of you not placing as much importance on the new year. I
Yes.
think this whole New Year thing is bogus, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
Your New Year, okay, this is me now. I'm not gonna impose my beliefs on everyone. But for me, my New Year is my birthday.
Hey,
That's
that's me
that's my
too.
first
Oh, that's me
right?
too. Great point.
Not this like my calendar is when I was born. That's how
There
my
we
years
go.
work, right?
There we
And
go.
and that's where my pressure points are, you
Yeah,
know, and that's where I assist myself actually, not December,
love it.
rest when everyone's resting. That's not my flow. You know what I'm saying? We're going back to the 80-20 thing now again, right?
Yes,
I'm gonna use a businessman as a good example, right?
sure.
You know, one of my mentors is the chairman. 28th December, man was working because
That's it.
he'll rest on his birthday for sure, you know. But not to say that he was working because he didn't want to be part of the 80%, but the significance of the new year to him is irrelevant because things still need to get done.
Thanks.
For where he is in his life at
Yeah,
this point in time, he cannot afford to rest like everyone else is resting.
yeah,
And yeah, I think we should just understand the fact that your new year is determined by you. You know, it's not the birthday for everyone, but if you're gonna put too much pressure on yourself because it's the 1st of January according to the traditional calendar, then you're bound to carry a lot more anxiety and all those other things that come with it, because of
100%.
the starting calendar.
No, I couldn't agree more. I love that. I got so excited there because what you said about your New Year as your birthday was